Share this out. Wait for people to come in. Share on Discord. Comics. I guess it'll work there. Sup? Hello, Nitro. Already, I just started this up and somebody joins me. That's great. Alright. So, got 4 topics. Maybe talk about some other stuff. Who knows? We'll start off with Titans. So, about that. I just started season 1. Or, not started. I started season 1 a couple weeks ago. And it's different. It is very different from the Arrowverse new Superman film. Reign of the Supermen. I don't even know if that's out yet. I'm gonna probably check out Death of Superman because that's on DC Universe. But yeah. So I saw Titans. I'm up to episode 7. I haven't watched any episodes since. It's very different from the Arrowverse shows. But I don't know. It's just, I mean, I ignored, for the longest time, I ignored all of the inaccuracies and the way that characters were kind of out of character for the most part. Beast Boy acted like Beast Boy. At least that's how I would imagine he would act like Beast Boy. I don't know. Let me flip this, see if it would be viewed better this way. Okay, so I ignored all of it, but even then, it's just, I just don't care for this dark, bleak tone that the show is doing. I mean, you would think Warner Brothers and Jeff Johns, I mean, that's what I was telling somebody earlier about how the characters, because the person kept telling me that they were taking off of the new Teen Titans run from the 80s and the 2000s run, and I'm like, they were never Punisher level dark, like with gore and stuff. I mean, yes, the Titans comics dealt with some serious elements, but it was never like edgelord dark. It was never like they never stabbed somebody in the eye or the dick or have like brush someone's face against some shattered glass. That's just dark. But I mean, I thought it was okay. I mean, it's just the only. I mean, I don't mind the writing. Jeff Johns' writing is top notch as always. I'm just like, it's just hard for me to. I saw some episodes of Titans. It's okay at best. Also, Jeff Johns is a pretty cool guy. He should have reined everyone in the show. Well, I saw a featurette, and he said about how he seems to be one of those people that loves the dark, edgy tone, because he took the criticism people. I didn't mind BVS. I'm pointing that out now, but a lot of people had they had criticism about that. It was too dark. It was too bleak, hopeless, dark, visually dark. It had like the infamous, what it's called, the Snyder filter, where it always like all the scenes look dark or grim. And in the featurette I watched, Jeff was saying about how that, unlike other stuff, this series would be fun. And I'm like, whether something was boring or fun isn't the problem. It's the fact that nobody wants to see a dark, edgy, edgelord take on Teen Titans. Just because I didn't mind the grim tone BVS had does not mean I want that applied to a live-action Teen Titans show. Yeah, the Snyder stuff needs to stop in DC unless it's Batman. Yeah. I mean, you would think after the guy basically, he's, I think, either fired or unofficially fired, you think this crap would stop, but it's like, nope, not today. And that's like, I was really hoping for this. I was really hoping for Titans and Doom Patrol because that would be the start of a separate TV universe. I'm live streaming. Anyways, but what I was saying was, I was really hoping for another TV universe because the Arrowverse has failed me. I only watch Arrowverse for the crossovers. I mean, it's just like with, I liked, for the most part, the Elseworlds crossover was okay, but, like, we couldn't even have the crossover, like, we couldn't even go, that's why I wish they just kept Felicity absent through the whole crossover. I'm going on a tangent, but I just need to point this out now. I wish that they just had kept that annoying character. I used to like Felicity. She's just awful now. And they couldn't even have the damn crossover go without her going on about relationship issues and how Oliver keeping secrets is bad. Even though this secret was really random WTF that him and Barry switched bodies. It would be like, that's not a bad secret to keep. That's not a bad secret to keep. They don't know what the hell's going on. But, oh, he's keeping another secret from me. Wait. Like, you don't waste 2 minutes of her talking to Caitlyn about the stupid whatever. But anyways, the good things about the crossover before I go back on the Titans, I like Batwoman. Batwoman was really cool. I like the reference to World's Finest with her and Supergirl. But that's about, I mean, I liked a few little things, but, I mean, it was okay. It was watchable. Anyways, but, what was I saying? I was talking about Titans. With Titans, like I said, I was really hoping for this other TV universe I could have. I was really hoping for a good DC live-action TV show. I really hope that moving forward, the show can just have a course correct and not be dark, edgy, angsty edgelord stuff, because that's not Teen Titans. I had to keep pointing out to somebody that the fact that Dick Grayson and Starfire, that they are like killers and stuff, that's not them. I'll check out all this stuff, but here it might not be this great. About Elseworlds, or the Elseworld crossover, it was fine. I mean, it was fine for the most part. I mean, they at least did a good job. I mean, they like the season villains, because I know Flash, I don't even really care who the season villain is. The season Cicada, I think, is the name. Like, any of the season villains, they are just mentioned in the crossover. Like, Arrow is still doing the whole thing with Diaz, which I think it's interesting because they brought in Diaz last season, and the fact that they're continuing with him this season, that's pretty cool. But, and I mean, I think Arrow might still be good, but I cannot deal with Felicity's bullshit anymore. I can't deal with her complaining and bitching about Oliver doing this and Oliver doing that. There are times when there are times when that little bitch needs to realize it's not about her. I started to draw the line with this crap when this happened with that episode when Samantha was forced to keep, or Samantha, his booty call or whatever, when she forced him to keep their son a secret, or else he would never see the son again. I mean, it was to the point, like, they even made it thoroughly clear to Felicity. They had written in the script, this is why the writers, they just don't They must have had like 5 or 6 different writers on that particular episode because they couldn't get it to work. They had a scene in one of the episodes where Samantha tells Felicity that you shouldn't be blaming him. This was my fault. I'm the one who forced him to keep this secret. And in the end, she doesn't get mad at Samantha. She gets mad at Oliver anyway. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like you hear from the person who started this whole shit confessing that they themselves did this, that they were the ones responsible, and that you shouldn't be blaming the person you're blaming, and yet you blame the person you're already blaming anyways. Oh my gosh. I mean, are the writers that inept? Are the writers that inept? Because I've seen a lot of reviews from people talking about Titans comics, and it sounds like a great cast of characters. He seems to brighten up everything either in season 2 or season 3. Honestly, I have nothing against the cast. I think that they were all, for the most part, they were all well picked. It's like no one even like when Beast Boy got cast, because that was Ryan Potter, and he's, I think, Japanese American, so he's biracial. No one complained about that, and I think some of the backlash about Black Starfire was more of the fact that they could not get enough money to just go on ahead and just have orange face paint or like a color filter over her face where it looks orange. I mean, it's just I can't even begin to wonder how much money went into this show. I mean, I would say maybe at most, maybe $1 million, maybe $1 million, if you think about that. Arrow sounds like Superhero General Hospital. Yeah. I mean, honestly, there are soap operas that have better writing than this. It's just like when you have a character go and say it's their fault, you would think the logical thing for the person that they're telling it to, and this is in soap operas too, they would start blaming the person who forced this decision. But no. And they just, like, that's like, it's like, I used to love Felicity. And that's why I've continued to say, I only go on, like, Arrowverse videos occasionally, like, when they talk about Arrow, but it's like, when I do, it's like, I stand by my statement. Slay should have killed her at the end of season 2, because the character just became this parasite after. She became this unbearable parasite. And that's the only thing that's really keeping me from getting back into Arrow. Flash, I don't care if I ever see that again. And Supergirl, I thought at times, like during season 2, at least despite its political feminist agenda crap, at least that had a lighter tone. At least I thought at times that it was kind of channeling, tone-wise at least, that it was kind of channeling Superman the Animated Series. At least tone-wise. But it's like I'm tired about feminist agenda crap. I'm tired of politics. I didn't mind it at the time when I watched it, but season 2 with the villain, the way that they did the whole villain, the villain that season, and the villain that season, and then the way of the whole aliens, about they had to hunt up the aliens. I mean, it was obviously a jab at the whole Trump thing, with Trump and the, like, building a wall, and the whole thing with the Mexicans and all the stuff he was accusing them of. And it's like, the show, the only way Supergirl season 2 would have made that more obvious is if they had the female villain, what was her? It was, Luthor. She was the mom of Lex and Lena. Lillian Luthor. The only way they would have made it more obvious is if she brings up that they have to build a wall to stop the aliens because they are murderers and rapists and all this other crap. And it's like, I don't believe that about. I'm not calling Mexicans rapists or murderers. I just don't want to be reminded of politics. That doesn't make me racist. It doesn't make me a Trump supporter. I just don't want to be reminded of it. And that's another reason between that and it's like Supergirl being a little crybaby at the start of season 3 over the Mon-El crap. And I couldn't take it anymore. And it's like, that's what people, and I agree with people. Superman, in the few episodes he's appeared on Supergirl, is a more interesting character than Supergirl herself. Like, all Supergirl is just this cute, adorable girl. She's not that interesting. They try to hide it by the fact that, oh, she's so cute. She's so cute, and she's so adorable, and she does cute, adorable things. It's like early Felicity. Early season 1 Felicity. I agree with you, man. Okay, I don't have a problem with the cast. I meant to say they should put some color and lighter tone. I didn't accuse you of saying anything like that. They should. They really should. They should also. Beast Boy, for the most part, acts like the character from the comics. I heard they did a great job with Donna Troy and Jason Todd. The only characters that they need to fix Dick Grayson, they need to fix Starfire, and they need to fix Raven. The character assassinations didn't even bother me until somebody brought it up on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, that's right. It's like, it shouldn't be that hard to make a damn show with the Teen Titans. I was excited for this show. Despite everything. Despite the way the costumes look. Despite all the backlash the trailer got. Despite the fuck Batman thing. I was going to give it a chance, but it's just... It's not Punisher. Don't make it Punisher. Don't make it BVS. Don't make it a weird hybrid of both of them. I mean... Anyway, so... But season 2... I might check it out. I mean, I would rather have, honestly, regarding Superboy... I would rather have, and that's something I even said way back when Titans was announced in 2015, they had Supergirl, was just about ready to come out. I was like, I would rather have Superboy on Titans than on Supergirl because on Titan, at least they wouldn't go and cuck him out. They wouldn't go cuck him out, diminish him, and all this other crap, because it seems all of the male heroes on there, and I feel sorry for all the Martian Manhunter fans who have to go through this crap. Like, all the male heroes need help, and they need saving, and they can't stand up for themselves. They can't be, like, they need women to save them, because they just can't do whatever on their own, and I'm like, it's like, if you flip it, this is what these feminazis who work on these shows in Hollywood don't seem to get. If you flip the genders, that is very sexist, that these women heroes can't do anything that they expect the male superheroes to save them. It's like, these people don't have any double standards. If you want to have strong female characters, just have them be equal to the male heroes. You don't have to go and diminish any male character you have for the sake of pushing your agenda. But that's what they're going to do, because they don't care and they will never learn. I mean, it gets exhausting. It gets freaking exhausting. That's why I would rather have angsty, dark Superboy. I would rather have angsty, dark Superboy than one that constantly needs Supergirl's help. If Superboy got cucked out, I will drop. I am slowly becoming a fan. I agree with you, man, with what you're saying. Yeah. Because it's just... And Supergirl, I mean, season 2 angered me. They had the perfect opportunity, and they missed it. They missed it. They had the perfect opportunity to bring in Superboy. They missed it. They brought in Cadmus. They got people excited for Cadmus over nothing. They made Cadmus part of this whole Trump allegory whatever, or Trump Nazi whatever crap. With what they did in season 2. Like they already introduced Superman. They introduced Cadmus. Like the 3 pivotal things for Superboy, for his origin and his creation, is Superman, Lex Luthor, and Cadmus. They already name-dropped Cadmus. They introduced Cadmus in season 1. Or not season 2, season 2. And then they introduced Superman. They brought in Superman for the first 2 episodes in season 2, and then the finale. And then they didn't have Lex Luthor, but they had his mom. And it's like, you could have, like, his mom could find, like, an old hairbrush or something that belonged to Lex that would have his DNA, like a hair. Something that would contain his DNA or blood or something. Anything. Because that's his mom, and she would have, like, an old hairbrush with his hair or something on it. And then you take that, you would think this Cadmus illegal operations would have a science division or a cloning division or something. And then, boom, right there. She finds a way to steal Superman's DNA. She has her son's DNA from, like a hair or something, or spit, or blood. And then, boom. And then you take that, and then you have Superboy. I would have been fine with Supergirl training Superboy for him to develop, like, get used to his powers and being a hero. Because at first, he wasn't like, he was a bit confused. In some origins of him, he was a bit confused at first. He didn't know who was good and who was bad and all this other crap. And it's like, they could have done it that way, and it would have been fine. It would have given Supergirl something, as a character, something to work with. Something to do. But instead, they just pushed this other crap. And it's just... I know I think I've mentioned some of this crap before, but it's just annoying. It's just annoying. It's like it seems the only superhero shows I'll have, like, because I don't watch Arrowverse. I mean, I watched Black Lightning. I watched season 1 at least. I'm going to check out Batwoman. Because I like Batwoman. They didn't push a feminist, like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm a woman thing. As long as she fights other villains than homophobes, I'm all in. Because she's a lesbian. So I'm like, I'll check out Batwoman. I might still watch Black Lightning if they tone down some other Trump agenda stuff, and it's not because I'm a supporter. I don't care. I just don't want freaking politics in my superhero shows. Superhero shows and movies and stuff is supposed to be about superheroes saving the day from the bad guys. It's not supposed to be about allegories for presidents and all this other crap. Okay, so that's enough talk about Titans and the Arrowverse. So I'm going to move on to the DC Vertigo relaunch, because a recent comic came out. I don't want politics in my stuff sometimes either, man. It's insane. Yeah, it gets tired. It gets tiring, and then and then you have the whole Vertigo Comics thing, the relaunch, and it's just, let me see where it finds with 7 titles. Because you have that, and then their comic, Second Coming, which was supposed to be, that's the Jesus comic, that's the one where Jesus returns. I figured that if you're going to do a story with Jesus, that it would be him returning to Earth, and he would see how fallen this world, how miserable this world has become since he left from after he got crucified and came back a few days later and then went back to heaven. And you would think that, like, the story would be he comes back to Earth, he sees all of the misery and stuff in the world, and then he would go and he would do something about it. That's what you would think the story would be about. But no, since you have Zoe Quinn on this, she is a known, well, I don't know. I won't, I'm not going to say SJW, but she's like on the toxic side of that spectrum. I know of a few people that consider themselves SJW. I think you're one of them, Nitro. I may be wrong. I think you had mentioned something before. She's just very toxic. She's like on the toxic side of the whole SJW and whatnot. Like, and then you would think, but since she's in charge, the book about Christianity is going to get messed up. It's going to be a controversial story that isn't what Jesus and all of that is supposed to be about. So the story of Second Coming, from what I've been able to gather, is that Jesus returns to Earth and he is searching out a Superman knockoff known as Sunman, because Jesus is trying to learn how to become a true Messiah. So he goes and he finds and he becomes roommates with this Superman knockoff known as Sunman, and he is supposed to learn from Sunman how to be a true Messiah. And I'm like, just, that's not how. It's like that commercial with those two ladies about putting the pictures on the wall. It's supposed to be like, there was one lady who put it on a literal wall, and the lady was saying, it's about Facebook. And then she says, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. And I agree. This is not how, if anything, the story would be completely flipped. It would be about Sunman or any of the other superheroes, any of the other actual superheroes searching for Jesus or finding Jesus, or Jesus returns to Earth, the superhero finds Jesus and is looking for advice. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be the other way around. You know? Am I right, Nitro? Are you still here? I'll wait a second so then I can wait for your reply. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm Christian. I'm not like full on Christian. I'm certainly not crazy Christian, but I'm like, you don't do that. You don't do that. I'm still here. Okay, that's fine. But it's like, you don't do that. It's just, it's like and it's like DC thinks that, like, oh, let's shoo away all of our Christian readers who read like Superman or Wonder Woman or Green Arrow or Batman or any of the other titles. It's like they keep finding any way. Every time they do, like every time they keep trying to find ways to lose their readers. This is what they did with New 52, and now they're doing it here. And I feel sorry that the Vertigo name is being tarnished by this awful woman. It's like if Zoe Quinn is somehow watching, or if she ever sees this, I hope she can find God. And if she doesn't want to find God, I hope she can find some professional help so she can stop being such a bitch towards all these other people. to people who have different religions. She might go and say that she like doesn't bash other religions, yet she's supporting a comic that is bashing, that is making just all this with Jesus and Christians and stuff. I don't even know how many. I don't even know if, I guess every single title I bet is some crap. I know Border Town was. If you can see the cover, I read the first issue. The black girl right there with wearing the basketball whatever shirt, Slay Sun with a sun 34. I read the comic. She's a racist. She's racist towards white people. She keeps mentioning the lead character has to go and convince this girl, and I guess Asian, I guess that's her Asian friend right there. The girl right there sitting with the peach shirt, sitting on the road. That's just, you don't sit on the road. Whatever. Anyway, so her and her Asian friend, they keep bashing the lead character, who is half Mexican. And they keep going like, you better, like, they have to keep saying all this diminishing stuff, like, oh, you better not be a whitehead, or you better not be, like, you're white, we don't talk to you because you're white. And he gets furious, like, it's one of the few things I can understand about the book. And he goes, I'm not white, I'm half Mexican. And it's like, to me, it's like, why are you even hanging out with these two girls? If they're gonna go and say this crap, why are you even hanging out with them? And the art looks so weird. But thankfully the comic has made, I mean, it sounds like the concept about, like, the story, it would be like on a border town and then going into like Aztec and like Mexican mythical monsters and stuff. That sounds interesting. That sounds really interesting. But then they put in all of this white, like, oh, white people are awful and like all this other crap, and now they're racist and all this. And I'm like, I don't even want to read the book. I can't even get into, already there's two characters right there I can't get into because they're going and being these like racist bitches. He stopped doing all these crazy politics. Good God, someone needs to relax or just leave it all behind. But thankfully the book got canceled. Border Town has been canceled. I don't even think they even finished the first arc they were trying to tell. Because Eric Estival, I think that's his name, he stuff came out that there was this girl who came out and said that she was sexually, I don't know if she was assaulted or something by the writer. And then the writer's bullshit claim was that James Bond and some other character made him do it, or that he believed that was how. And it's like, Bond never I never seen the James Bond movies, but if there's one thing, it's like, all Bond did is be flirtatious. He is flirtatious. He is a ladies' man. All the girls want him. All the girls want him. He flirts with them. They go and it's like, oh. That's how it rolls. He doesn't sexually assault them. He doesn't rape them. That's not what you get from Bond, you freaking idiot. I'm the only person. It's like, I'm happy. I'm gonna point out now. I'm happy the book got canceled. I'm not happy for the reason what happened behind it. It's like I pointed out before on Discord. The only person I feel sorry for in this whole scenario is the girl that had come out with this information, and the guy went and admitted it. So I think he got fired from DC too. So it's like, this is what, like, maybe I'm hoping DDO or somebody at DC be like, maybe with this coming out, maybe they can actually do a background check on all of these people. Maybe they can actually make books that keep politics and all this other. It's not even politics. It's a racist book. It's a racist book. You have two lead characters, the two girls in this on this cover. They are freaking racist towards white people. They don't have a reason really to be racist towards white people other than being racist bitches. Moving on. Hex Wives, I don't know if that was an agenda book. Oh, it says, the women are too powerful. They must be tamed. A malevolent conspiracy of men brainwashes a covenant of which is to be subservient suburban housewives. But it's only a matter of time before the women remember their power. Oh, I guess this book, based on this description, might make sense if this is like 1600s. If it's like during the whole Salem witch trial thing. I don't even think that's the case though. So I guess this is another all men are evil book. I mean, unless there's a male character who's actually good in the book, I refuse to believe otherwise, that this isn't a men are evil book. What else we got here? American Carnage. In this thrilling crime saga, disgraced FBI agent Richard White, who is biracial but can pass for white, goes undercover in a white supremacist group believed to be responsible for the death of a fellow agent. Oh my gosh. I'm not denying there are white supremacists out there, people that are actually that, but oh my gosh, you made a comic out of this? Oh my gosh, it's like, this isn't Vertigo. Vertigo, originally what Vertigo was the DC line. This had the more mature indie style comic stories. You had amazing hits come from this. You had Sandman. You had Sandman's take on Lucifer, which ended up getting the Fox show. You had Fables, which was a really interesting take on the different fairy tale characters. Even when it was relaunched in 2014, when Vertigo came back in 2014, I don't think any of those books were agenda driven. And one of those books was what inspired the show iZombie, about the girl who was a zombie, but she would eat brains and solve cases and stuff. It didn't push anything, and it's like, this is, you couldn't just make a new line. Like, if you want to push these books, you couldn't just make a new brand name and just shove these books over to that brand name. You had to bring Vertigo into this. I'm not saying I mean like DC. I'm talking about DC in particular. You have to go and bring an amazing line into this. It's just, oh, this one's gonna be crap. This is Goddess Mode by Zoe Quinn, the leader of this agenda crap, and Robbie Rodriguez, who, if I'm correct, is the guy who showed his asshole on Twitter to that Ethan Van Shriver, whatever his name is, goes, I'm a big fan. It's like disgusting pigs. In the near future, where all of humanity's needs are administered by a godlike AI, it's one young woman's horrible job to do tech support on it. But when Cassandra finds herself violently drawn into a hidden and deadly digital world beneath our own, she discovers a group of superpowered women and horrific monsters locked in a secret war for the cheat codes to reality. Okay. Brian, oh no. Glad it's not buying DC Comics with all this stuff. Wait, Brian Hill, isn't that the guy from the PS4 Spidey game? And what about Death and the Cost of Living? And yeah, Sandman, it was cool. No way. That can't be him. Don't tell me he sold out for this crap. Don't tell me that. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Goddess Mode, the plot doesn't sound... Unless these superpowered women in this deadly digital world are like man-haters or they like kill men or something, I don't see anything overtly agenda about any of this comic, but it's Zoe Quinn, who is already a toxic person, and then you have Robbie Rodriguez, who showed his butthole, literally showed his butthole on Twitter, and I'm like, no, thank you. High Level by Rob Sheridan and Barnaby Bagenda. That's one letter. You take the B away and it spells agenda. Oh boy. Hundreds of years after the world ended and human society was rebuilt from scratch, a self-interested smuggler with a price on her head is forced to traverse a new continent of danger and mystery to deliver a child messiah to High Level, a mythical city at the top of the world from which no one has ever returned. Okay. I literally thought every single book was going to be pushing something. This, I mean, other than the character's blue, green hair, it sounds not bad, I guess. All these books suck. I won't spend a penny on them. Also, I don't. It's the same guy. I hope it's not, because I won't buy the second game because the first game was fun. I'd say, honestly, I really hope it's not him. But they didn't push politics in the first game. They didn't push any politics in the first game. And, I mean, they didn't push anything that, policemen are evil or some crap. As the toxic SJWs are known for doing. Where it's like they bash cops because of this and that and this and that. And I'm not denying there are some bad cops or dirty cops, but just, I don't know. Okay. This book doesn't sound bad, but I don't know. It might be pushing something, and it's just disguised by a good and interesting summary of the plot. Safe Sex, oh boy, by Tina Horn and Mike Dowling. A dystopian sci-fi thriller about a rag team of sex workers fighting for the freedom to love in a world where sexual pleasure is monitored, regulated, and policed by the government. Oh my gosh, they ripped off of... There was an animated thing. I'm about to get to the next thing. High Level looks and sounds interesting. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'll have to wait and see if that book's gonna push anything. This book, Safe Sex, it ripped off. There was a animated thing last year that someone did on YouTube. And it was about this post-apocalyptic world, I guess. Or not post-apocalyptic. But it was the fact that nobody could have sex. Because the fact, like, there was something where if anybody had sex, even if it was either with another person or if it was somebody doing that to themselves or something, that there was some sort of disease, and it wasn't like HIV or anything. It would kill them. So it's like you had to be like careful. This book ripped that off. Well, monitored, regulated, and policed by a government. Still, that part that part is ripping off of the stuff, because in that animated thing, they were monitoring and policing and whatever people doing it. I hope this is the last one. Second Coming by Mark Russell and Richard Pace. Thank goodness this is the last one. God sends Jesus to Earth in hopes that he will learn the family trade from Sunman, an all-powerful superhero. He was like the varsity quarterback son God never had. Oh my gosh. But upon his return to Earth, Christ is appalled to discover what has become of his gospel and vows to set the record right. The back part was what I was assuming the book would have, but he wouldn't be learning from Sunman. Sunman would be learning from him. Oh my gosh, that's one book. One book. Out of how many? 7? That's one book that sounds interesting. That's one book. High level. That's the only one. This is what Vertigo has become. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I can't even continue on with that. Okay, we're moving on now to Captain Marvel. Okay, I've seen darn it. I've seen the trailers for the film. The first trailer was boring. The second trailer was a little bit better. I saw this like special look. I think I'm trying not to be like over exaggerate about. Darn it. I'm not gonna over exaggerate and just full on say it's gonna be feminist agenda dribble, even though the actress is. Oh, the actress, she has gone and said crap about white men and stuff. And there was... Okay, so to set the record straight about A Wrinkle in Time, or set the record straight about what she said about white men, she said that regarding A Wrinkle in Time, that she didn't want to hear a white man's opinion about the film because the film was about diversity. The lead was a biracial character or a black character, or I think it was biracial. She kept mentioning biracial, and that she wanted to hear the opinions from biracial women. It's the way she went about it and the way she's gone about with other stuff kind of makes her out to be. It's not helping her case, and it's just getting more people hating on her. She completely ignored the fact that somebody pointed out that there was a black woman critic at Rotten Tomatoes who hated the film, and it's like she claims that, or the actress claims that she wants to hear people of like their opinions, people of color's opinions, like black people or Asian or whatever, and that she wants to hear those opinions. But it seems the only opinions she wants to hear are just positive opinions. It seems that like anytime there's a person of color or is biracial who hated the film or hated any other film that she might be thinking about in that way, that they are just ignored. Regarding the movie, however, the only way I don't even know if I would go to the movie theater to see it for free. I'm saying now, I have a way where I can see it for free with some movie passes. But other than the effects, and I just went to the wiki page. I like the effects when she goes into her binary form in space. There's a really cool shot, and it's like around her body, it's like lighting up and stuff, and she's flying in space and fighting and whatever. That looks cool. But that's out of the trailers I've seen so far, that's the only interesting stuff about it. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm not angry at the film. I'm not saying anything negative about the film. but the film needs, I don't know, it just, I feel like the film, I've seen a lot of people saying that they're going to boycott the film. I commented on a video before I continue on. Nitro, you still here? Okay. I'll continue on while I wait for your reply. I commented on another video that I don't know how many people, I pointed out, I can't help but wonder how many people will actually, yeah, I'm still here, okay. I can't help but wonder how many people will actually boycott the film. People say they're going to boycott it, and that may have worked for Solo, even though some people have actually said that they weren't really interested in a Star Wars film that just was about Han Solo and Chewbacca. Or that it wasn't necessary or whatever. So I don't know if it was a boycott or if it was just that they just weren't interested in it. But regarding Captain Marvel, and this is the same with Episode 9, I can't help but wonder how many people will actually boycott, because I think some of these people that are saying they're going to boycott it will go see it anyways, just to see how bad it is, so they can go and complain or go and say on the internet how bad the movie is. I don't know if it's going to be a good movie. I don't know if it's going to be a bad movie. I heard somebody claim that their lesbian feminist friend of their girlfriend, that it was this one guy, that his girlfriend's lesbian feminist girlfriend went to see Captain Marvel. Hi Tevi, we're talking about Captain Marvel right now. Lesbian feminist girlfriend went to see Captain Marvel, and it was filled with a bunch of feminist pushing stuff. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if the lady just didn't care for the film. I don't know. Okay, so Tevye, to fill you in, we have already talked about Titans. I went on a brief tangent rant about the Arrowverse. And we talked about the garbage books, except for one, the 6 garbage books to come from DC Vertigo. And I pointed out, because I only talked about these garbage titles, that I only talked about the garbage titles because of the whole Second Coming thing, that the plot of the book is about Jesus returning to Earth and is apparently trying to learn to become a true Messiah. So he goes to this Superman knockoff named Sunman, and is like they're roommates now, and he's trying to learn from him. Even though, in a way, it should be the other way around. Sunman would be taking advice from Jesus, not the other way around. Anyway, so I knew the book was going to push. I knew the book was going to do something. I knew it. At first, I thought the book would just be about Jesus returning to Earth, seeing how far this world has fallen, and doing something about it. Trying to at least bring hope, bring positivity, bring healing. That's what Jesus is. I'm not super religious. I am Christian. I'm not like crazy religious. I've pointed out before. But, I mean, you don't just go and take someone like Jesus and just saying like, oh, he needs to go to this Superman knockoff and learn how to learn from him. Sounds like a really bad idea for a comic. It is. I mean, of course they would go and do. The only one that sounded interesting of the 7 comics was this comic called High Level, and it's about this woman who is trying to take this like baby child messiah or whatever to this city in the sky, or this very like top of this tower type thing, like she has to climb or whatever, or get up there, And it's like anyone who tries going up there's never seen again. That sounded interesting. That was the only that's sad that of the seven books in the Vertigo lineup, that's the only one. It doesn't seem to push any sort of agenda. It's not offensive. It's not some bullshit like that racist Border Town book. And it seems interesting, but I don't know. It's supposed to come later this year. It said 2019. So we were talking about that, and now we're talking about Captain Marvel. And I was saying that I'm I need to calm down for a second. I'm not like overly mad. It's just, you know. But does push the limits with DC Comics, and it's outside the main universe, but man, that whole Jesus comic sounds awful. Yes, it does. It's like Vertigo, and it's like that tarnishes the name of Vertigo. They couldn't just make a new brand name or a new like lineup name like Black Label or Wonder Comics. They had to bring back Vertigo. They had to bring back Vertigo and use it for this. Vertigo was home of a new imprint. That's what it is. They could have just made a new imprint. But instead they bring back Vertigo. And it's like, in Vertigo, that was home of some of amazing, kind of slightly more adult-based, indie-style comics. You had, like, Sandman had come from that. You had the Sandman take on Lucifer, which is what ended up being used on the Fox show Lucifer. You had that. You had Fables, and Fables was really cool. That's what ended up, The Wolf Among Us was the prequel to that. So you had that. And you had that, and then when they brought back the lineup in 2014, they had iZombie, which is what ended up becoming the CW show, which is actually pretty decent. Indeed, like Hellblazer, Sandman, Lucifer, Swamp Thing, yeah. I don't know if... Did Zatanna have a Vertigo book, or was that Batman? I remember there was one DC character had a Vertigo comic, or like a crossover. I know Constantine had that too. I didn't know Swamp Thing had one. That's pretty cool. But right now, we were talking about Captain Marvel, and honestly, in my honest opinion, the first trailer was boring. The second trailer was a bit better. Don't think Batman vs. Zatanna had a Vertigo comic. I can look it up later. But, what was it? First trailer was boring. Second trailer was a bit better. I think the special effects look, or at least when she was in her binary form in space, fighting Skrulls, I assume, or aliens, or whatever they were. That looked pretty cool. But the actress, that's what I'm saying, is that the actress, she just, and this isn't a man thing, that, like, a male talking down to a female, but she needs to know when to shut her mouth, because, like, every time she says something about white men, like the whole thing with A Wrinkle in Time, and she didn't want to hear white men's opinions because the movie had a biracial lead, and she wanted to hear biracial, like, little girls' opinions, even though there was a black woman, a person of diversity, who hated the film, and she just went ignored, which is slightly racist. But I don't know. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, other than the whole woke, whatever, feminist stuff, I honestly don't think it can top Supergirl. In the sense that Supergirl is filled with it. It is filled with it. It is, like, I mentioned Supergirl earlier. And, like, that's the show. That's where they push the politics. I wonder if they push the politics because they know the character isn't that interesting. I mean, honestly, and it's like that's what's really funny. These are the people working on Supergirl. Just real quick, I'm gonna go back into this. Um, the people working on they're the kind of people that if a person, if a guy says, "I'd love to see Power Girl," because and it's be like they would automatically assume that's probably why they haven't done and never will do Power Girl, because they'll go like, "Oh, you want Power Girl because of her cleavage," because the character is known for having, a big rack, and in the nicest way I can say, a big rack, and it has like her costume has like a boob window. But if you ignore that, the character is like almost like a mix of Superman and Wonder Woman. She has this strong female sense about herself, like Wonder Woman, like kind of warrior type thing, but she's an alien, and she is, in a sense, even though it's like alternate universe or whatever the hell it is, she's Kryptonian. And it's like almost, in a sense, almost like the female, one thing you could say is like it's like the female Superman. Supergirl is, I don't know, it's always been, the character hasn't even had, for the most part, hasn't even had any sort of good run, at least in the 90s, because the character didn't come back until the 90s, I believe. So you have the old stuff, the old comics like pre-Crisis, and then you have like her return, I think, in the 90s. But even then, I mean, the character isn't even that interesting. It's kind of like what they did to Batgirl. Batgirl was, to me, became more interesting when she became Oracle, and she was like in her 30s or so, and she was Oracle, and now she's just this hip 20-something millennial who's Batgirl again. And I'm like, I mean, we can't have her be like a little bit more interesting. We can't have her stand out a bit more, have a bit more of a bite to her like Oracle had. I doubt they will do that with Captain Marvel, but I'm just going to wait till the movie actually comes out. To me, personally, I don't even know if I would even go to see the movie in theaters, even if with my free movie passes that I have. I would say that, like, to me, I'd just have it being a Redbox rental, because at the end of the day, I have nothing against the actress, but she needs to really stop saying stupid things. Whatever. Honestly, the worst I can say about her right now is that she just looks bored. The entire time with her character, she just looks bored. I understand she's playing an emotionless assassin, but I don't know. With assassins, they need to have some sort of fierce, "I'm going to kill you" look in their eyes. She looks like, every scene I've seen her in, she looks like she just woke up from a nap, or that she's like about to fall asleep. I might watch Supergirl what was it? I might watch Supergirl just to torture myself, because DC and Marvel just love screwing over the companies. Like, I tried with Supergirl. I was already furious that they missed out on Superboy, but I suppose that's for the best. I think that Supergirl post-Crisis on Infinite Earths was Matrix, and Kara Zor-El didn't come back until the early 2000s. Well, right there, she doesn't have any standout stories on her own. She doesn't have any standout stories on her own. She doesn't have anything, really. Anything. And you look at the show, it's so ironic how the show, even Supergirl says herself, she says sometime in season 1 that I am not Superman's cousin. I am me. I am Supergirl. And yet the show goes, and like any chance it gets, it wasn't until season 3. Anytime they did any sort of story from the comics in the Supergirl TV show, it was a Superman story. It was a Superman story that they went and they changed, and they just took that and had it be for Supergirl. It's the same with some of his villains. Some of the villains, like Parasite and Mr. Mizia Plizik or whatever, they're Superman villains. They didn't do anything from any of Supergirl's runs until freaking season 3 with Reign. But I'm happy they didn't make a Power Girl show because of the feminist movement. At the moment, I love the character, and her book was pretty funny. Yeah, the character's pretty cool. And it's like, they won't go bring her in because they'll think it's something to do with cleavage. Even though Power Girl is literally a more interesting character. And I don't even know that much about Power Girl. But she seems like a more interesting version of Supergirl. Metro, same here. Okay. Or Teddy says, same here. Technically speaking, Supergirl and Superman do share the same rogues. Yeah, that's true. I just find it ironic that she says she is trying to distance herself and be like her own hero. Even though it seems more like an ego thing because she's making it seem like an insult that she's Superman's cousin. I mean, whatever. He's not a bad guy. I don't see why she would have any real reason to want to detach herself from that. I could understand, like, if she's saying that because she wants to be her own hero, but she has her own name. People aren't going to confuse a blonde-haired woman superhero with boobs and a vagina or whatever, or with female parts, with Superman, who is a man. I don't know anymore. Captain Plank to the rescue. Captain Marvel flies in saving the world. Sorry, I made that joke. LOL. Captain Plank. Oh, Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's funny. Many people have said Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy has more emotions than her, and it's a plank of wood. It's a literal plank of wood. LOL. As for Reign, yeah, she was basically a New 52 creation for the New 52 Supergirl comics. But that's what I'm saying. It's like it took them 3 seasons. But they finally took something from a Supergirl comic and not just taking something else from Superman. It's just crazy. I'm hoping for the best with Captain Marvel. I hope it's not this movie. I don't have much hope for it based on everything I keep hearing. It's very possible that all of the footage we've seen from the trailers is either all or some of the stuff that isn't feminist dribble, but who knows. I had said before that my prediction is that at the box office, I mean, it might be a box office bomb. I think at worst, at the end of the day, it's still an MCU movie, so it's going to make bank. It's going to make some money. It would be, like, borderline crazy. People are still going to see this film because of the end credit scene in Infinity War, because people want to know who this character is that Nick Fury called. So, at the end of the day, it's still an MCU movie, and I think it's either, to me, it's, before I was full on saying that it wouldn't make bank. Part of me was just, I was going through stuff with this film at the time. I'm just been mostly neutral about the film. At the end of the day, but as I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's still an MCU film. It'll either make Ant-Man numbers, which is like 500, 600 million, or if there's some crazy chance, if it does like make a profit, I could see it maybe making 800 or 900 at most. I mean, for all we know, it could be another surprise, like another box office surprise like Black Panther and top $1 billion. But I don't know. As for okay, I read that. I read the comic run where a married couple made the Power Girl run. I cried with tears of laughter, but at the end of the day, Karen Starr will be left alone. And thanks for the best. Okay, that's for the best. Okay. But I mean, that's like, but I'm not gonna be like some like what the other people who are hating on the film are like saying that I'm supporting the film. I never said I was. I'm just neutral about the whole thing. I don't think it's going to. It's obviously it's not going to top Infinity War. It's not going to make $2 billion. I it would be a stretch to say that it enters the $1 billion club. But then again, Black Panther entered the $1 billion club. That was something that was catering. In a sense, I'm not saying it's a great movie. Black Panther is a great movie. At the end of the day, though, some of the stuff they're saying, like, okay, this was like for the black people to go see, and that was their movie, and it had mostly black cast, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm saying that could also contribute to why it made $1 billion, because there's a lot of black people. There is a lot of black people, and a lot of people would want to go see a movie about a black superhero. Yep, indeed, I missed that Power Girl series. It was really good. Too bad New 52 had to screw up her character badly. Yeah. Anyways. There's some MCU films I didn't enjoy. I think Black Panther, I love that film, yet it has its problems. I enjoyed because it felt like an organic story. Yeah, it was really good. Some people made the comparisons that it took like elements like some of the stuff with the king and whatever, and with T'Challa, that it was taking off of the Lion King. I could kind of see that, but there was some different stuff too. Like the plot elements and stuff. Um, Ant-Man and the Wasp was really good too. I'm not saying anything bad about Ant-Man and the Wasp or Ant-Man. I'm just saying that it just depends on the numbers. It depends on the numbers. I'm not saying those aren't bad films, and they still made some money back. It's just those films. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's why I keep saying, at the end of the day, Captain Marvel's still an MCU film, so it either make the lowest it would make would be 500, 600 million, like Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I would find it unbelievable if Captain Marvel, despite all of the controversy, I would find it crazy if Captain Marvel only made 100 million, 200 million. Because people are going to be people are ignoring, I would say people would be ignoring all of the backlash and just go see the movie because they want to see the character that was teased at the end of Infinity War because of continuity nuts and whatever, and MCU fanboys and all the other stuff, and just moviegoers who like these movies. Okay, so that was it for Captain Marvel. I was going to talk about Aquaman next. I might bring up Young Justice real quick, or the show. I still need to see or read the comic. So look at all the New 52 books and see everything. Honestly, I thought it was one thing I thought was interesting that the New 52 did with Power Girl was they have the whole thing where she's friends with Harley, and I know it's just mainly in the Harley books, but I thought it was interesting at least. Okay, so Aquaman, I am happy, very happy to report, and I hope it makes a couple hundred million more because of something else. Aquaman, as of today, at least I think it was as of today, it has made 1 billion worldwide. It has made 1 billion worldwide, and I am so happy right now. It's like, I'm like I never thought we would make it here. I never thought we'd make it here, but it ended up, it's like, no one would ever, like 10, 20 years ago, no one would ever believe Aquaman, a movie, a live action movie about Aquaman, would make $1 billion. But it did. And I'm really happy that it did. And if it's like maybe, and I'm hoping I'm gonna see it probably later this week, but I hope it gets a sequel. But and it's like hopefully moving forward, the rest of these movies will be doing good too. And I was saying, I hope despite everything, and it still hasn't aired yet in Japan. So there is a chance. There is a chance. I hope it makes 300 million more, because if it makes 300 million more, it will top The Last Jedi's box office total, because Last Jedi had 1.3 million. I loved Aquaman despite some parts in the film. This film was a total win for DC. That and Wonder Woman and Aquaman as a character I made fun of, and now he's my favorite character in DC now. I never really hated or made fun of Aquaman. I used to hate and make fun of Green Lantern because at the time I believed his weakness was the color yellow. But I learned more about that, and I don't hate on Green Lantern anymore. I wish you luck, man, because oh boy, there's some really bad New 52 books. That's just my opinion. If you disagree, cool. More power to you. Yay, Aquaman. But yeah, and I'm really interested to see all of the underwater effects and stuff when they're underwater and stuff. It looks really cool. And I'm interested to see how things are gonna go, because making a billion worldwide it makes me happy. I know it won't make 2 billion. I know it won't make Infinity War numbers. There's just something almost satisfying knowing that a DC film, especially a DC film about Aquaman, made as much money as I think it's almost I don't know if it was I think Age of Ultron was like just over $1 billion. But it would be nice if it made a little bit more money, because it'd be in like the top corner. I mean, it doesn't have to beat out the Avengers movies or Civil War or that. But it would be nice if it beat out Last Jedi, because Last Jedi was a disaster. Speaking of news, apparently Star Wars and Marvel sales have dropped in 2018. I heard about this today. I still need to see a video about this. I love the fact Disney actually admitted that their sales, I assume from Marvel Comics, not Marvel, because their movies are still doing well, but Marvel Comics and Star Wars stuff, and I guess Star Wars merchandise, has dropped last year. And I will have the biggest grin on my face when I watch to see that Disney admits that their properties, the stuff that they own, have been fucked up to the point where it's like admitting it is the first step. Maybe they don't have to admit we made mistakes, because Disney will never do that, but maybe, just maybe, they can start course correcting this stuff. And I think that's what they're trying to start to do with Marvel Comics. Maybe, just maybe, they can get some better writers. They already have good writers on Marvel Comics, but maybe, just maybe, they can get some better writers. Or get more good, original, non-political, non-agenda writers working on there, and this stuff will finally be over with. I mean, I already heard Riri Williams, of all characters, her solo book, surprisingly, she is starting to be a likable character now. I could hardly believe that. After 3 years, or 2 years, of this sociopathic bitch, that she's finally being a likable, relatable character now. All-Star Batman, Robin, where Bruce and Dick painted themselves yellow, was so dumb. That's a random fact. Yeah, that was written by Frank Miller, which was really stupid and funny. I don't see who... Paint smells. Paint, like, we've repainted before this whole crap happened with our house. We've repainted the house, like, in the living room and stuff. And it smells. There is no way I would ever let somebody paint me yellow, like, all over, even if that's a weakness. They couldn't wear yellow costumes. They couldn't have, like, Bruce has all this money in the world, and I understand he was this asshole idiot in an All-Star Batman. But he couldn't just have him and Dick wear yellow costumes and take down Green Lantern that way? Wasn't there something about a yellow room, that it was this completely yellow room, and Green Lantern was defeated because he was in a yellow room and he was powerless and weak? Oh my gosh. It's just... I agree, same here. Well, it's Frank Miller, logic equals no. Speaking of asshole Batmans, I've read, I think yesterday I read the Teen Titans Year 1 book, and under the control of the antithesis, I think was what it was called, Batman went and smacked Robin, hit Robin. And even when he was freed from the control of it, he didn't even apologize. And it's like, the book was okay, but it had such an abrupt ending, and I'll be in a few minutes. Okay. Anyways, but just give me just a second. Okay. So anyways, and the book, I mean, the book was okay. It's just, it was like the ending was abrupt. It felt like that there was like 2 or 3 more pages the book was gonna have, but it just ended. I don't know if it was supposed to tie into another older Teen Titans book. They also had, literally on the last page of the last issue of Teen Titans Year 1, they had Batman write, I guess, like a text message or an email to Robin saying, I'm proud of the leader you've become and all this crap. And it's like he's having such a difficulty with a damn email or some crap. And I'm like, you don't get to do that, book. You spent 5 issues showing how much of a dick he is. How much of an asshole, pompous dick he is. This is what I hate. Sometimes this is what I hate about Batman. I hate the times when he's portrayed as this pompous, know-it-all dick. Where he just goes and it's like, oh, he goes hitting Robin. Yes, he was under mind control or whatever, but he didn't even say he was sorry that he hit his ward, his sidekick. I agree with that because I want Marvel Comics to do well again. Until I want to read some great Miles comics again, I'll look into Riri comic because it sounds really neat. For now, it sounds like she's likable now. I don't know. It's been a couple issues now. I don't know if there's anything really good with it. Miles has a new solo right now. And the writer, people feared he was going to be an agenda writer or whatever, but he wrote a good first issue. You could probably still find the first issue at comic shops if you're interested. You and me both, man. At least Amazing Spider-Man comic with Nick Spencer is really good. That's good. And with problem with people in DC when they write Batman comics, they say to themselves, how can we screw over Batman or bring his mind into a screeching halt? Agreed. Well, that's the thing, is that there are times when I like Batman. I used to love Batman. Like, really love Batman as a character. I will always love the Arkham portrayal of Batman. And I think Batman the Animated Series, like that DC animated, that universe of it. But other than those portrayals, like, there are times, part of my hate towards him is the fact that he has 200 freaking books. He has all of these. I don't mind the video games because some of them are, I like playing some of them. But he has all, like, anytime a video game is made, it's Batman. Anytime there's, like, a comic book miniseries that has an interesting plot or something that original that they could do, it's Batman. anytime when they do a cartoon, and some of the cartoons are good, I'm not saying bad about them, but it's always Batman. And it's like with the DC animated movies, it's not full on Batman, it's full on Damian Wayne. Ugh, it's just, part of me just wants, and that's why part of me had this little vengeance kick, because I'm tired of seeing Batman. That part of me was liking the Titans take on Batman, where he's just flat out killing people, because I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. The animated series had a relationship with Barbara Gordon until it came into my mind in Arkham City through Mr. Freeze, liquid thing that kept him alive. Okay. That was the only controversial thing from the DC anime universe, was that he decided to be with Barbara, which was so weird. I liked, but that's what I'm saying. I like the Arkham portrayal of Batman. I like Batman animated series portrayal. I just, when it comes to some of the comics, in some of his portrayals, the way he is written, he just doesn't want to admit that he's wrong, or that he made a mistake in some portrayals. And that's one of the things that I just can't stand about him sometimes. And it's like, and that's something I've said before on another live stream or another video, is that if you had a book and it was literally just Batman in the book, it would be probably the most boring book. If it was just a book that was just Batman the whole time, no Robin, none of the Batgirls, no Nightwing, none of the other supporting characters and villains, just Batman, it would probably be one of the most boring books. You need, like, with Batman, like, in order to have, like, a contrast to make Batman work better, you need to have his supporting characters. There are some characters that they could do well just being just that character on their own. But Batman isn't one of them. Personally, in my opinion, I'm hoping for Super Sons with John Samuel Kent, Superboy and Son of Superman, Lois, and Damian Wayne, Robin for an anime movie. I wouldn't mind it. That's one of the things that, like, Damian is more of a mixed bag for me. Batman, at least I can say that there's portrayals I like. Damian, it goes back and forth, but depending on who the writer is, who's writing the book, because it's like there's some writers where they want me to they want to have him be a better character, a better leader, and there are some writers that just revert him back to his first portrayal in like 2008, where he is this spoiled, pompous little douchebag. It's like, I wanted to read a solo comic about Tim freaking Drake, and in the book, the little ass face shows up, and he goes saying like, "Why haven't you left yet, Drake? You're not his son. I'm the only son." Bah, bah, bah. And then I like the part where Tim goes in this and punches him, and then Damien has to go and take it back, saying like, "Oh, well, I'd let you punch me." Bah, bah, bah. It's just this. I honestly think that was like, I think DDO hates Robin. He obviously hates Robin. It was this bullshit that he didn't get to be Robin in the Adam West show, and that's like he had a hatred for Robin after that. And then he realized a couple years ago he doesn't hate Robin, he hates Burt Ward or some bullshit. And I personally, I think that he just, like, either the writer, and it's like that's probably why they kept originally the writer who wrote the miniseries that had Damian in it said that originally Damian was going to die in the intended miniseries, but I assume DDO wanted to keep him alive because he was this intolerable little shithead. I know Damian's better now, but the whole thing is always going to be mixed with me. I've said this before on one of your videos, Tevia. It's always going to be mixed depending on what book I read. because this could be a writer that writes asshole Damian that I hate. I want DC to give other characters a shot, if anything, give Batman a rest and let Nightwing take over. With that said, DC should give Wonder Woman or Superman a good time. We wouldn't be bored. Well, at least I heard Wonder Woman's getting a new animated film, so that's good. Superman still has the whole reign of the Superman thing. I was surprised to find out that Batman Hush won't be a standalone film or a standalone two-part film, and that's supposed to be, they're going to do like what they did with Death of Superman and be in the New 52 universe of films. So that's something. It seems that I think Justice League versus the Fatal Five, I don't know if that's going to be. This is what's really weird. It seems Justice League versus the Fatal Five won't be a New 52 animated movie. I don't know. It could be like another one like what they did with Batman and Harley Quinn, because I heard they're getting Kevin Conroy back as Batman. They got one of the voice actors for Superman from the animated series back to play Superman. They got Susan Eisenberg back as Wonder Woman. So I don't know if this is going to be an animated, like a DC animated show universe movie. It better be better than Batman and Harley Quinn, I'll say that. Regarding, like, giving other characters a shot, honestly, I would love, at this point, there's been 200 things with Batman, between comics, shows, movies, video games, all of this. I wouldn't mind seeing a DC animated movie that is it's a loose adaptation of Batman R.I.P. and Batman just dies. Batman just dies. They don't pull out some cop-out that he comes back, like what they did in the story of Batman R.I.P. or Batman Dark Knight Returns, that he actually is perma-dead, and they have, or Batman Bad Blood, I think, was another one when Nightwing took up the thing, but Batman wasn't really dead. I would love to see where he's just perma-dead, and you see Nightwing, Red Hood, Barbara Gordon, Tim. I'd leave Damian out, honestly. But every other character that hasn't had a focus. They've focused too much on Damian. Like, just have Nightwing, Batgirl, Tim, Cass, Cassandra Cain, Stephanie Brown. Maybe bring in Batwoman and Batwing. I don't know if they would really have a focus, or if they'll do like in the Batman Detective Comics run, where Batwoman and Batwing and Azrael have their own little trio. But just make a movie about them trying to keep the pieces together, trying to keep Gotham safe because Batman's gone. But I don't think DC will ever do a movie like that, because I guess GDO just loves Batman too much. At least we got rid of the Superman movie, which was really good. Is that already out? Is that movie already out? Because I don't know when it's going to be on. I'm waiting patiently for it to be on DC Universe so I can watch both Death of Superman and Reign of the Superman as a two-parter. I think Justice League vs. Fatal 5 is outside of that New 52 animated universe. I think so too, because it sounds like I'm starting to wonder if this is. I need to see a trailer, because I'm starting to think that it might be a like a continuation of the Justice League cartoon as a movie, which was what they tried to do with Crisis on Two Earths back in 2010. That was going to be a movie, but the script got heavily rewritten. Well, we have Young Justice anime series, which was really good. Yeah, that's really good. Yes, Batman Bad Blood. Stephanie Brown spoiler was released in theaters for a double feature. It was tons of fun. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so Aquaman. And as for Young Justice, and then I'm going to wrap up the night because the battery's already wrap up the stream because it's already at 6%. As for Young Justice, like I said, I really enjoyed the 3 episodes. Some people really liked, and I kind of like it too. All 3 episodes were more standalone instead of what they did last week or the first week with the first 3 episodes, because it was like a 3-parter arc type episode. And let me find an image of season 3. But I like that. I thought Private Security was really funny and emotional. It was funny because of the whole bow hunter security thing with Dick and Will, or Clone Roy. So Will, Roy, and Jim Harper, I believe. People were joking because it was like Nightwing and a batch of clones teamed up, because all 3 of them are, well, not 3 of them, but 2 of them are clones. So that was really cool. I've been loving Halo. Halo's really cool. Brian, that's getting an arc. There's been some funny moments with him. I liked when Halo said about how, like, am I broken too? And then you hear him in the background go, excuse me? That was really funny. And Zatanna, my poor dark magician girl. I know that's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, but I don't care, even though I'm not really into Yu-Gi-Oh. My poor magician baby girl. Oh, just like all the stuff with her and her dad. It's like, I like that they're continuing that arc, because season 2 kind of mostly ignored that. So they're continuing on with that arc with that. And so there was that, and then episode 5 was about with the team and with Miss Martian. Then they got the whole thing, and then they introduced her brother, and that was pretty cool. And I found out that her brother is voiced by Ben Diskin, who also portrayed the voice of Harm in season 1, and portrayed Harm in season 1, and he's also done stuff, like he was number 1 and number 2 on Kids Next Door, and he's done lots of cool different roles. So, and that was really cool. And then we got introduced to Forager. And then episode 6, bombshells were dropped. Oh, I should have said spoilers. Well, I'm saying spoilers now. Y'all probably already seen it anyways. Well, I know Tevi did. I don't know about Nitro, or you, Nitro. But episode 6, bombshells were dropped, because it seems Jason Todd is back, and we're introduced to the little pest Damien, but he's a baby. At first, I thought that, because the show's already been going into a darker route this season. At first, I thought that Jason was under mind control because of the weird mask he was wearing. I thought he was under, like, mind control or something. And that the baby that Talia, and I mean, there was already something before that, like, in one of the continuities or whatever, where Talia had supposedly raped Batman, which I think was changed later on where he wasn't. I don't know, that comics are confusing. At first I thought that under their control that she had raped him, and then that was the baby. And then people kept saying it was Damien, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe Talia and Batman got busy. But then Raish said that like, your memories are starting to return. So I'm assuming that the whole thing with him in the pit, that it erased his memories. I guess he became like a foot soldier, or a soldier for Raish. For those, or at least from the time in the gap between seasons 1 and 2 till now, which was probably maybe 4 years. I gotta go, everyone. Have a good time with the last bit of the stream. I will see you next time, Nitro. Thank you so much for joining. And So it's just leaves just you and me, Tevya. But like I said, I enjoyed the episodes. I understand people have said that the animation is a bit poorer, slightly poorer this season. Honestly, I think it looks fine. I'm happy it's back. I waited 2 years and I'm not disappointed. And I've been enjoying the episodes so much. When the first 3 aired, on the same day when the first 3 aired, I rewatched them myself, because it's like first me and my sister watched them and then I rewatched them. And I'm probably going to be rewatching episodes 4 through 6 because I've been really enjoying all that. But like I said, I'm glad I have stuff to enjoy, because I don't really talk about it much on stream. It's just I go through some issues and stuff, so I'm glad that I just have some stuff to enjoy, and I'm glad I get to do these little streams with y'all. I gotta go and get some dinner. See you guys. Well, see you. Talk to you later, Tevya. I'm gonna probably wrap this up now that everybody's leaving, so. And I'll see you here soon. I'll do some other stuff soon. I'm hoping, one thing I would love to do is, once I get a PS and I have a way where I could get some games and stuff. I heard PS4s have the option you can stream the games on YouTube, so I could see, once I get a PS4, I could start doing like video game walkthrough streams and stuff. That'd be really cool. That would be fun, and I'm just happy all this stuff, with everything going on right now. I just hope things get better moving forward. And I hope we have a good year this year. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm pretty sure everybody's already gone now. So, this is Edward West Summers. Oh my gosh, I've been going for nearly 2 hours. Oh my gosh, okay. This is Edward West Summers, Fierce Crimson Speedster. I'm going to be signing out. I might do another one of these soon. I'm about to head in, probably get me some dinner, and I'm going to see you later on tonight. I was going to read the new Young Justice ongoing. That was the comic that won in the Twitter poll. There was only 6 votes, but it won the Twitter poll, so I'm going to probably read that later on tonight. And read some of my other comics, because between physical issues I got, issues I'm reading on DC Universe, and issues like downloaded digital copies on Comixology, I got a lot of stuff I need to catch up on. And I barely have the time to do it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to also wrap this up by saying that so far, okay, so in the picture, it seems Katana and Metamorpho will also be on the team, so I'm assuming in the next 3, we were already introduced to Katana briefly in the first episode, though she didn't say anything, so they could bring her back in here soon. I don't know if Metamorpho was already established between seasons, like between season 2 and 3, or if they're going to go into his origin too. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm going to wrap this up. So it's like 3 down, 2 more to go, and then I guess Nightwing will be leading the team. Alright, so wrapping this up now. This is Fierce Crimson Speedster, Edward West Summers, signing out. Bye.